Right, everyone, we are live because we have a plethora of tornado warnings starting to pop up. So once again, we are beginning our live severe weather coverage for the night. We've got quite a few tornado warnings I'd like to go over with you all. First of all, we'll focus on these two near Parsons and Labette, Kansas. So you can see we have radar indicated tornado warnings for radar indicated rotation near Labette and Parsons. So if you're on Oswego, Montana, Labette, Altamont, Mound Valley, West Mineral, north of Bartlett or Chitopa, you guys need to be in your safe spot. Radar indicated tornado warnings for you guys. We have a tornado warning near Columbia, Missouri. Forget that radar. I don't think that works. Actually, it does. So this is also radar indicated for Columbia and areas south of there. So Ashland, New Bloomfield, Lake Mikeytown, Holt Summit, Hartsburg, Ashland. You guys get into your safe spots. And then additionally, our tornado warning north of Springfield, which I know you were just asking about, Tabby Gamer. Not too worried about Springfield at the moment, just areas north of there. We have a radar indicated tornado warning for Buffalo, Pleasant Hope, Goodnight, Missouri. So you guys seek shelter. If you're under a tornado warning, lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows. If you don't have a basement or storm shelter, get into a hallway or room like a closet. And then the main thing a lot of chasers are on right now is our storm west of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. We've got some radar indicated rotation on and off with having a tornado on the ground based off of reports. We've got live storm chaser John McKinney out there. He is currently near Copan, Oklahoma. You can see him in the top right. He has given us permission to use his live feed. So he is just east of this tornado warning. He's right there in that general area. And then our storm down south in the Wichita Falls area has really died off. So no tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning down there. We have a new mesoscale discussion for severe potential with a watch likely for western Oklahoma and southern Kansas. And then a few severe thunderstorm warnings, but mainly concerned with these tornado warnings. So once again, tornado warning, radar indicated for Labette County, Kansas, Boone and Callaway County, Missouri, Cherokee County, Kansas, Dallas, Polk, and Webster County in Missouri, and then Osage County in Oklahoma. You guys are all under tornado warnings. For the storm in the Parsons and Oswego area, I am watching that rotation. Those two separate areas of rotation potentially moving towards the Joplin area over the course of the next hour or so. So you guys in the Joplin area, keep your eyes on that. We'll be here live covering it. But if you are in Copan, Dewey, or west of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, I'd recommend you get into your safe spot. Davis, if you'd like to hop on call, give me a ring. Other than that, not too much to talk about. We have a mesoscale discussion concerning our southernmost tornado watch, which expires at 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The potential for additional severe thunderstorms continues across portions of southern Oklahoma and northwest Kansas. If storms develop, they will pose a threat for very large hail, tornadoes, and severe gusts. So that, I believe, is a newer mesoscale discussion. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the live chat. I will be keeping an eye on it. Let me know where you are tuning in from this evening. I'm keeping my eye on reports in this area with our Bartlesville storm is what I'm going to call it at this point. See that rotation in there? It is starting to shift just the slightest bit further south. So Bartlesville, wouldn't be shocked to see you guys placed under a tornado warning in the next about 20 to 30 minutes once this tornado warning is getting ready to expire. Once again, shout out to Storm Chaser John McKinney for giving us credit to use his live feed. There's our day one. Actually, no, that doesn't work. Let me go ahead. Give me just a second, everybody. I'm going to duplicate this. Not sure why it's showing. I was going to try and show our day one outlook, but I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. We do have a day one enhanced risk of severe weather for tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. And tomorrow, we have a pretty insane run on the 0ZH-RRR, showing a lot more discrete mode. I should say a much more discrete mode than there previously was for tomorrow. So I don't think it's out of the question to say that we'll likely see an upgrade to a moderate risk for a 15% hatch tornado risk. Once again, that's for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be live covering it. I think I'll be on a decent bit for it. I think based off what I'm seeing on radar, they may allow this tornado warning north of Springfield to be canceled. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the live chat. Keeping an eye on this rotation to the west of Bartlesville. I do think that it did just weaken a decent amount. We'll see if it kind of recycles, so we'll keep an eye on that. Taking a look with a different perspective at the Columbia storm, you can definitely see our rotation better than you can on the local radar there. So Columbia, Missouri, and areas south and east of there, be sure that you are taking your tornado precautions, specifically Ashland, Pierpont, New Bloomfield, Lake Mikey Town areas north of Holt Summit, Fulton, and those areas south of I-70, and in southern Columbia. Still, all of our tornado warnings radar indicated, which is what we like to see. Looks like Jeff Petrowski just went live, so I'm going to watch his feed for a second. Fortunately, I do not have permission to show him on stream, but I'm just going to watch for a second. His stream is cutting out, but I can't tell what he's trying to report. We may have a tornado on the ground. It sounds like it's coming down again. So according to him, we may see this tornado come down again, which is not what we like to hear, especially because it is beginning to head towards Bartlesville. So that is going to be kind of a worst case scenario if that comes back down and heads towards there, because I believe out of Dewey, Copan, and Bartlesville has the largest population, and just shy of 2 years ago, they were hit by an EF4 tornado, which was the most recent EF4 in Oklahoma State history up until the Enid EF4, which I believe is rated at EF4 at 175 miles an hour as of now. So once again, Bartlesville, Oklahoma, be ready to get into your safe spot, and I'd recommend just going there right now, honestly, if you can. So Bartlesville, Oklahoma, you guys get into your safe spot, and then also Oswego, Kansas, Montana, Kansas, you guys should be there. You've been under that tornado warning. Parsons, I do believe that rotation is pretty much past you guys now. It doesn't hurt to stay for another 5 minutes, though. If you are just tuning in, please be sure to like the stream. It's completely free and helps out a lot. Shares the stream further into the algorithm. But right now, this Bartlesville storm is my main concern, particularly because we've got a good amount of cars driving on this highway, and we may have a tornado trying to come back down. So once again, Bartlesville, Oklahoma, you guys need to be in your safe spot. South of Columbia, Missouri, you guys should already be there. And then there's also that tornado warning near Buffalo, Missouri. Main areas included in that and path of the rotation are Buffalo, areas west of Conway, west of I-44. So just continuing to watch this potentially dangerous situation waiting to unfold in the Bartlesville area. Gonna add a little thing at the top of the screen just to make the overlay a bit more fulfilled. Just to be a little bit more straightforward than the bottom text is. So put that there. All right. Once again, if you're just tuning in, please be sure to like the stream. It's completely free and helps out a lot. We are monitoring this situation where we could potentially see a tornado touchdown heading towards Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which is not what we like to hear. So Bartlesville, Oklahoma, you guys need to be prepared to seek shelter. I might need to change the color tables on radar to make them a bit better, so give me just a second. Just to make it look a bit better for you guys. So, give me just a minute. Okay. Colors. There we go. That makes it a bit more visible on stream for you all. And then with this, and I think this will make the velocities look better, just so it's easier to see for you guys. Import. Okay, I think that looks good. So we'll stick with those two for now. But once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the live chat. We're just live here covering this situation. We do have rotation headed towards Bartlesville, Oklahoma, with the potential to come down and drop a tornado. Nope. Okay, I think that one's best for now with our velocity. We got 2 likes and 6 people watching, so if you haven't already, please be sure to like the stream. I know I've said it a lot, but we don't have too much to talk about urgently right now, and this does help push the stream further into the algorithm when we do have something where we need to be reaching those people in these areas. But if you know anybody in the Bartlesville area, give them a call, have them seek shelter, because Bartlesville isn't technically under a tornado warning yet, but if this storm continues what it's doing, they very well could be placed under one. Areas east of Oswego, Kansas, still under that tornado warning. It's a very slim polygon you can see there. But tornado warning does continue. Kind of hard to interpret on the radar there, just with the distance from the Springfield and Tulsa radar sites. But this is coming from the National Weather Service in Springfield, Missouri, I believe. Yes, it is. So once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the live chat. And we do have that severe thunderstorm watch that was issued for portions of Kansas and Missouri. That is new. We had a severe thunderstorm watch earlier today. Here's our second one, because the first one kind of disbanded as the day went on. So the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for portions of northern Kansas, northwest Missouri, effective this Sunday night and Monday morning from 9:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Primary threats include scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events to 3 inches in diameter, likely scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour, and a tornado or 2 possible. So pretty standard for a severe thunderstorm watch. But once again, if you have any questions, feel free to keep an eye, or feel free to drop those in the live chat. I'll be keeping an eye on it. Gonna keep my eye on storm reports. Is this a new tornado warning for Oswego? Keep forgetting there's 2 areas of rotation here. But Oswego, Kansas, Montana, Kansas, Lubbock, Kansas, you guys are under a tornado warning. So what's probably happening here, why we don't just have one warning altogether, is because between this line, you've got the National Weather Service in Wichita, Kansas over here, and then Springfield, Missouri over here. So Kansas, Missouri, there's your dividing line between the National Weather Service offices. That's what we've got going on with those tornado warnings at the moment. So they're kind of working together to make it one polygon. This rotation may be picking up slightly in activity again south of Buffalo, Missouri, so I would keep an eye on that. Buffalo, Missouri, you guys should be in your safe spot. We've been talking about that for a good chunk of this stream, the 22 minutes that we've been live, 21 minutes. But at this point, just continuing to monitor our Bartlesville storm. Feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from in the live chat. We'll make this stream as effective as possible for you. Want to hone in on those areas where you guys are watching from, especially if you are at risk of facing some severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings tonight. But I think what we're going to do in the meantime while we wait on that storm to creep closer to Bartlesville is I'm going to pull up the HRRR. So we'll get the 0Z HRRR up. We'll put that. All right, we'll do that. So here's your composite reflectivity on the 0Z. And you'll see the comparison that I'm making when I pull up the other runs of it. But here's tomorrow, going into tomorrow. These storms are much more discrete than they were supposed to be. If we look at, for example, the 18Z, you can see how it was pretty much entirely a cluster. It's not perfect, but there's more of a semi-discrete. And then there's that second line where it's really not as much of a line. It's just a bunch of little cells on their own kind of near each other. Not sure the best way to explain it, but you'll see what I mean. Here's our current way that it's running through. If I slow it down a bit, it'll be better. So that's 0Z, where they're much more discrete. They've got 2 or 3 hours kind of on their own. But then if we go back to, for example, the 18Z from 6 hours ago, that really doesn't happen as much. Then we're going to head back to radar scope. Put that over there, just here. Once again, please be sure to like the stream. It helps out a lot. We've got 2 people watching and 4 likes. consider subscribing to the channel and potentially even donating. That all of those are completely optional. Even just watching helps, but donating helps out with things like Storm Chaser Summit, storm chasing funds for this summer for me. Hopefully we'll do a few streams chasing. My plan isn't to do full-on streams because the connection cuts out so much in my chasing terrain. But what we can do is I can do update streams while I'm out there in areas where I do have service. And then obviously I'll be videoing and potentially posting raw footage whenever I catch something cool like a tornado, some big hail, lightning, whatever it may be. Our tornado warning near Columbia is now gone, so not much concern over there anymore. Not a fan of that radar site, so if you use this one, you can see our rotation not as tight anymore. So we're doing all right. And it looks like this tornado warning was updated. Still radar indicated, doesn't include Bartlesville yet. Not sure if they'll reissue that, honestly. So my two main concerns are the Buffalo, Missouri storm and the southeast Kansas dual rotations. Continuing to watch these dual rotations we've got in southeast Kansas. I believe these are two separate areas because we've got right in here near Montana and then over there. So rotation approaching West Mineral, Kansas, and then again near Labette. I'm gonna be totally honest, my main concern right now is these storms when they move into the Joplin area, if they can continue to carry steam. I have a feeling that they have bad intent. So I am kind of worried about these two rotations because obviously we have two tornado warnings due to it being two separate NWSs, but let me know in chat, do you think these are two separate rotations? I think it's two separate areas of rotation. Welcome into the stream camp. Kind of like, I think it's 16 or 60% chance, like in my opinion, of it being two rotations, 40% chance of it being one. But if you're in the Joplin area, just be ready to have that tornado plan go into place. These storms will be there sooner rather than later. Hopefully just so you guys can get it over with and go to bed. Not too concerned about that Bartlesville storm anymore, though. Things did kind of quiet down a bit more once again when we came here and went live, which is always good because people are starting to go to bed. Especially not a big fan of nocturnal things when it comes to tornadoes. We'll turn on our MPing reports and storm reports. There was a report of a funnel cloud 11 minutes ago near Lebec, Kansas from the 911 call center, so likely the public that called that in. Picture sent via NWS chat. Funnel looks 3/4. Wait, let's get back to that. 3/4 away to the ground. Time estimated from radar. So it was getting close to coming down. And that's our only report right there. They're also under a considerable flash flood warning. And then we had a report of a tornado almost a half an hour ago west of where our tornado warning near Bartlesville is. That was a report of a tornado at one point. And then near Buffalo, Missouri, with our tornado warning, we've got some reports of hail. Still watching that rotation in there, though. I think they will likely continue that tornado warning. Probably going to drop the tornado warning in Bartlesville. Yeah, I agree. Unless something begins to ramp back up again, which it's not out of the question. But right now, mainly watching this storm down here in southeast Kansas and then the Buffalo, Missouri one. Like I mentioned earlier, things down near Wichita Falls really died out. I think they canceled the mesoscale discussion for down here. I don't believe that it expired. Over in Colorado, we've still got some rain going on moving out east. We had a few land spouts. I've seen videos of the one near Deer Trail, Colorado. Very cool. And our tornado warning has been extended to now go south of Pittsburgh, Kansas. So that includes West Mineral, Scammon, Cherokee, Ware, hopefully I pronounced that right, Columbus, and McCune. Looks like that will probably go north of the Joplin area, which is good news. It'll go into northern parts of Jasper County. But Asbury and Waco, Missouri, be ready within the next hour. So this tornado warning came out 3 minutes ago. National Weather Service in Springfield, Missouri has issued a tornado warning for northern Cherokee County in southeastern Kansas and south central Crawford County in southeastern Kansas. Locations impacted include Columbus, Cherokee, Ware, Sherman, Scammon, Chicopee, McCune, West Mineral, Roseland, Lawton, Corona, Skidmore, and Stipville. Are you talking about the rotation near Buffalo Camp? Because, yeah, that is intensifying again. I wouldn't be surprised if that touched down. I was talking about earlier, I thought it was weakening, but it may be coming back. Wow, we are at 8 likes and 6 people watching. So thank you for liking up the stream, everybody. Helps out a lot. Good to see more of you in here. If you have any questions for your location, feel free to ask. But you guys in Buffalo, Missouri are under a tornado warning. And as Camp said, that is now strong rotation. So be sure that you are in your safe spot in areas west of Lebanon, south of Lewisburg. Not too many locations in the path of this besides Buffalo. It's going to go west of I-44. So this rotation is soon going to be about 22 miles west of Lebanon, to give you an idea of where it is. So north of Columbus in West Mineral, Scammon, Ware, Cherokee, Kansas, you guys are going to want to be in your tornado safe spot right now. Got some decently strong rotation there. And then a really tight little area here near Buffalo, Missouri, that we've got kind of tightening up. And this storm is also warned for 2.5-inch hail. You can see 70 dBz. I saw it pick that up over there, I believe. I saw 68. So 2.5-inch hail over there. That's tennis ball size. So just borderline considerable, not quite destructive. That's for Dallas County and northeastern Polk County. Tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, along with a potential tornado. I'm going to keep an eye on our correlation coefficient. So there's our rotation. Not seeing anything lining up with that, which is good. That means we don't have any debris being picked up by radar, and those scans are at the same time, or less than a minute apart, I should say. So once again, our tornado warning near Buffalo, Missouri. Would not be shocked to see this thing drop a tornado. So you guys in Buffalo or just east or northeast of there, be in your safe spot right now, please. That is strong rotation near you. Nothing on CC yet, which is good news. Okay, our latest CC scan is now 6 minutes ahead of velocities, so we're going to wait for velocities to update before making any claims. And that tornado warning near Bartlesville is now a special weather statement. I see Camp just commented about that as well. So that's now a special weather statement for 0.88 inch hail and 50 mile an hour winds. So at 9:36 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 1 minute ago, Doppler radar indicated a strong thunderstorm 3 miles north of Bartlesville Municipal Airport, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Hazard wind gust up to 50 miles an hour and nickel-sized hail. That is radar indicated, so gusty winds could knock down small tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Locations in or near the path include Bartlesville and Dewey, so if outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. And then a tornado watch remains in effect until midnight. That tornado warning is not going to come back anytime soon. We've lost all signs of rotation with that, which is good news. They probably canceled this. No, not yet. Okay. Okay. We don't have a CC drop, but this is concerning me near Buffalo, Missouri. So east of Buffalo, Missouri, in Buffalo, or northeast of Buffalo by 1 to 5 miles, you've got to be in your safe spot. Right now you are under a tornado warning, and this thing could drop at any minute. Hello, Egan Young. Welcome into the chat. It's good to see you. Egan's a goat. He's seen a fair share of tornadoes over the past few weeks, so be sure to go subscribe to him. Had the pleasure of meeting him at Summit. Right now we're keeping an eye on this storm near Buffalo, Missouri. I think it does have the potential to drop a tornado, but I would say that that's not a CC drop at the moment. Torrin, Kansas. Let's see. I see we have a new tornado warning going, because this was issued when it was going east-northeast. Now it's starting to go more southeast, so I'm wondering if we have 2 rotations again. But that is observed. I should say observed. I don't know why I pronounced it like a B. But that's a tornado warning for central Cherokee County in southeastern Kansas until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 3 minutes ago, a confirmed tornado was located near Oswego, moving east at 25 miles per hour. This is a damaging tornado and golf ball size hail. Weather spotters confirmed tornado, so flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles is likely. Tree damage, or I should say damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. And that is weather spotters confirmed. So locations impacted include Baxter Springs, Columbus, Sherman, Scammon, West Mineral, Neutral, Riverton, Skidmore, Hollowell, Sherwin, Faulkner, Stipville, and Crestline in extreme southeast Kansas. So if you're in Columbus, Baxter Springs, Lowell, Galena, west of Galena mainly, any of these areas in southeast Kansas, you've got to be in your safe spot. So that means basement, storm shelter. If you don't have either of those, get away from windows on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. The interior-most room, so potentially a closet, a bathroom without windows. And then, like I said earlier, Joplin, you're not under a tornado warning, but this storm has somewhat deviant motion. It's kind of switching directions, so I'd be ready to seek shelter just in case. Even if you guys don't see a tornado, you'll see some sort of severe with this storm. So secure those loose objects now, and I'd recommend bringing those vehicles indoors, because you are outside of the rain right now, but it is coming. And then looks like we do not have any update on our Buffalo, Missouri storm. Once again, a tornado is on the ground. Weather spotters confirmed near Columbus, Kansas, west of there near Oswego, in between the two. Camp, I know it says weather spotters confirmed on the warning, but if you're able to find out if there's any chasers out there, that would be very helpful if you see anything. So just let me know. Continuing to keep an eye on reports, so I'm looking at those on my phone right now. Don't see any reports of anything quite yet. We've got 6 people watching. If you have not already, please be sure to like this stream, consider subscribing to the channel, and even potentially donating. All of those are completely optional. Even just watching helps. The PayPal link is in the chat. That helps for things like Storm Chaser Summit, potentially chasing this summer. That'll happen either way, but funding for things does help, of course. Once again, though, we do have a tornado confirmed on the ground. The National Weather Service is saying it was located near Oswego, moving east, and that is not looking good. So here's our last scan. Let's go full screen on velocity for just a second. And that's now. So this could be a strong and likely large tornado on the ground approaching Columbus, Kansas. So Columbus, Kansas, you've got to be in your safe spot right now. Columbus, Kansas, seek shelter now. Take those tornado precautions. And this is moving east, so areas north of Joplin, that is where that is heading down the line, if it doesn't make any sort of shift. So southwest of Missouri, in the Joplin area, Jasper County, you guys be ready. If any of my moderators or usual crowd want to write a welcome message, that would be much appreciated. I'm not sure why. Okay, so this is one of those things that make you go, because you have Tornado Watch 155 up there, and then there's 151, which was expired for every county down here, by the way. It's gone for all of them, but this one. So National Weather Service, really concerned about you guys in that particular county. And then this is a new tornado watch for portions of southern Kansas and western Oklahoma. Once again, though, I do believe this is a strong tornado on the ground near Columbus, Kansas. So Columbus, Kansas, you guys need to be in your safe spot right now. Does appear to be intensifying. Yeah, it's a big tornado. It's probably at least half a mile wide. Not seeing any reports of anything yet. Once again, though, Columbus, Kansas, you guys need to be in your safe spot. This tornado is going to be on top of you shortly. And then heading back to Buffalo, Missouri. Looks like, thankfully, nothing happened with that. Not confident enough to call, any of this CC. So, you guys in Buffalo are good. Areas north and east of there by about 2 to 10 miles. You should be in your safe spot. That's the easiest way to approximate it, just because there's not necessarily many locations in the path of that. If you have any questions, though, feel free to ask in the live chat. That's what we're here for. If needed for a different view, we can also pull this up on Radar Omega from the phone. Okay. Once again, though, I think this is a big-time tornado. So, Columbus, Kansas, this is almost on top of you guys. You've got to be in your safe spot. There isn't much else I can say, but I do plead with you that you are getting into your safe spot, because this is not a good situation whatsoever. Okay. So, all we have is reports that weather spotters confirmed. I haven't seen any images of this, any damage really. I'm going to call it out, though, and say that this is a strong tornado on the ground. CJ Ziegler, hopefully I pronounced his last name right. He's on the ground there. So we'll see if he has any images of damage. But this is still a tornado in progress, so I don't want to get too caught up in talking about damage because we've still got people who are in the path of this. Columbus, Kansas. And this is now a PDS tornado warning. Hang on. Scope is having issues. Give me just a minute, everyone. I am so sorry about that. That is a really unfortunate time for that to start bugging out. Okay, I'm not sure what the issue is, but that's likely a PDS. Yeah, that is a PDS tornado warning for Columbus, Kansas. You guys have got to be in your safe spot. This thing is on top of you. A tornado warning remains in effect until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for Central Cherokee County. At 9:51 p.m. Central Daylight Time, it confirmed a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Columbus, moving east at 20 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Damaging tornado. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. So I plead with you that you are getting to your safe spot. I'm not going to lie, no shade to the National Weather Service, but I thought a PDS would come sooner. That's all I'm going to say. Props to them for throwing it out there, because this is an extremely dangerous situation. Okay, I've got my scope pulled back up here, so you can see the PDS. Doubt we can see anything on correlation coefficient from this distance, yeah. And that's hail, I believe. I sure hope so. But there you go. There's our velocities. That's an intense tornado we've got on the ground. So once again, a PDS tornado warning in effect. So once again, Columbus, Kansas, you've got to be in your safe spot right now, guys. This is a PDS tornado warning. Can't confirm yet, but maybe it's slightly weakening. Still a strong tornado on the ground. And even once this does lift, we'll be talking about debris fallout for the next probably at least 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, that is on top of Columbus, Kansas. And I'd assume they have a population of at least 5,000 would be my guess. Columbus, Kansas, just shy of 3,000 actually, so I overestimated just a bit, but still, you never want to hear about a town in the path of a tornado like that. And then once again, you guys in the Joplin area, this is heading towards you, probably just to the north. If we look at where John McKinney is, he's in Dewey, Oklahoma. So probably not going to show his feed for right now just because he doesn't have anything. But a huge shout out to him for allowing us to use that on our live streams. We've been live for 56.5 minutes, continuing our live severe weather coverage. Hopefully I'll be here as long as we need. I'm able to be here for at least the next 2 hours if necessary, so through midnight central. We have a special weather statement out here north of Dodge City, moving into our severe thunderstorm watch area. So we do have some things going on over there. But that is a strong tornado, likely continuing. This storm is far from done. Not seeing any reports of damage with photos attached still. Joplin, Missouri area though, you guys please be ready to go to your safe spot. That is not what I wanted. I want CC. Nothing showing there yet. So I would estimate, based off radar presentation, that tornado was at least a large cone. We've got 7 people watching. We went from 2 to 7, so likely some new viewers. If you have not already, please be sure to like the stream. We are covering a strong tornado on the ground in, I shouldn't even say near Columbus, Kansas. That is on top of Columbus, Kansas now. So if you are in that area, you need to be in your safe spot. In Columbus, you should already be there. And that is headed due east. Dang it. That's really unfortunate. It may start to shift slightly southeast, but if it stays on its current track, it's going to head towards Carl Junction, Missouri. But it's basically either headed towards Carl Junction or Joplin, which are both population centers in Jasper County, Missouri. Obviously, Carl Junction has less people, but either way, not going to be a good situation. Checking back in on our Bartlesville area storm, which still has its special weather statement. There is absolutely no rotation with that, so no concern there. And then our tornado warning continues for that rotation near Buffalo and Lebanon, so you guys continue to remain in your safe spot if under that tornado warning. Nothing new to talk about for you. It really is all eyes on southeast Kansas, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel like we called this out pretty well. Still can't confirm if we had 2 cells merge into one or if it was just the one, but there is a chance that it underwent a merger. I'll have to review the radar imagery and my stream after to confirm. And if I have any findings worthy of sharing, I'll put that on the community tab. But right now my focus is more on the now, what we've currently got happening, than investigating after. And that is a very unfortunate situation unfolding in Columbus, Kansas. This is a strong tornado. Once again, from the words of the National Weather Service, this is a life-threatening situation. A PDS tornado warning stands for a particularly dangerous situation. I want scope. Just waiting for our new scan. I'm not sure why we're on 5 or 6 minute scans on Springfield radar right now, but that's the way it is. Oh, wow. Wow. PDS for Joplin. That is a big PDS. That's a PDS tornado warning for Joplin, Missouri, folks. There's probably over 60,000 people included in that warning. So Joplin, Missouri, good on the National Weather Service for doing that. You need to be getting to your safe spot now just to prepare, because this is a dangerous situation unfolding. I'm just as surprised with how big the warning was if you just heard my reaction, but I'm thankful because, not to hate, but we know how things went in 2011 with the warning. Maybe that plays some sort of factor into it, but also we don't know which way this was heading. You could see it was heading northeast and then it was heading southeast. So the right call for sure. We are going to update our title, but Joplin, Missouri, you need to be taking cover. Sirens should be sounding there. Okay. Okay, title has been updated. So once again, PDS tornado warning for Joplin, Missouri. I know it's early, but please just get into your safe spot. Cap, what do you mean by unbelievable? I'm confused. Because that could mean a lot of different ways for right now. It looks like that may have just weakened a good amount, but they would probably just downgrade the warning to radar indicated PDS if they were to do something different. Once again, Joplin, Missouri, you've got to be in your safe spot. Do we know if there's any live cameras in Joplin? Does WeatherWise have any, Camp? Yeah, it is an unbelievable situation. You're absolutely right. We have been live for an hour and 5 minutes, and I have not had any water to drink. So I am going to go get some water. I will be right back, everyone, in just a minute or two to get some water. But once again, a PDS tornado warning for Joplin, Missouri. We're also going to attempt to check if there's any live cameras on WeatherWise or anything in Joplin to watch this storm. But once again, I will be right back. I have returned, got a swig of water. Camp says there are cameras. Are those on Weatherwise? Because I really hope it lets you view those on the website. Both of them are down. Shoot. That's really unfortunate. So we'll skip that. How do I... Traffic cameras. See some that aren't in Joplin that are down. In extreme southeast Kansas. None of them are loading for me. That's really odd. Well, I'll keep trying to see if we can find any. But once again, a tornado likely still on the ground, but much weaker, headed for the Joplin, Missouri area. So if you are in that area, be sure to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Basement or storm shelter is best. This 100% has the potential, again, potential to recycle. I would imagine those sirens are sounding right now. Okay. Not seeing any stream whatsoever from Joplin. Kind of unfortunate that when you search for things about the Joplin tornado now, things about the 2011 EF5 come up, but at least it's well documented. It just makes it harder to find information for tonight. Because keep in mind, Joplin hasn't had too many close calls with tornadoes since the fateful day in 2011, which was horrific. Hopefully nothing like that ever happens to them again. But May 22nd, 2019, an EF3 went up near Carl Junction, I believe it was. Maybe Carthage. But it was an EF3 on the 8-year anniversary, which obviously was very traumatic for a lot of people. Let's go ahead and read this warning. So, the National Weather Service in Springfield has issued a tornado warning for eastern Cherokee County in southeastern Kansas, northwestern Newton County in southwestern Missouri, and western Jasper County in southwestern Missouri until 10:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 9 minutes ago, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Columbus, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. What traffic cams do you have, Camp? Thank you for letting me know also, by the way. So damaging tornado weather spotters confirmed. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. Locations impacted include Joplin, Carthage, Webb City, Carl Junction, Baxter Springs, Galena, Oronogo, Carterville, Duquesne, Dunweg, Jasper, Diamond, Airport Drive, Leawood, Lowell, Silver Creek, Alba, Purcell, Shoal Creek Drive, Saginaw, and it's not mentioned there, but Shoal Creek Estates will also be impacted by that. Which cam do you have up, Camp? Let me check in on John McKinney's feed, by the way, and see if he's got anything right now. Okay. We're just going to act like that did not happen. But which cam do you have up? Because the cams on weather-wise, none of them I've got working. Max had one on. That's going to be really hard to find. I wish somebody would ask him, because we cannot show his feed. Candrive.org. Wait. Okay. I'm doing professional investigating right now. .org. Mo.org. Cameras. Live cameras. Okay. How's your camera? Do you know how I get to that camera, though? I'm having trouble finding it. Because that's the one I'm trying to find. That's the one Max has pulled up. If somebody knows how to get to that, that would be great. Because when I go to the website Max says it's on, I can only see cameras along I-70 in the Kansas City Metro. So stand by, everyone. We should have a camera up soon. And this stream is not monetized through YouTube. It's just PayPal for those who choose to donate. So we're just going to show it because I'm not too worried about getting copyrighted. It's for public safety. So it's for the good. But if anybody wants to post the link to it, feel free. Thank you for texting that to me, Egan. Much appreciated. Now I'll type it in on my computer. Cam button on bottom left. Got it. Thank you so much. Shout out to Egan in the chat. modot.org/map. Cameras in the bottom left. Okay. Okay, cameras, enable. Which camera is it again? There's quite a few. There's one in Joplin. I want the one that's a bit too far south. At I-44 mile marker 4. Okay. I think this might be it. So we're going to put that up there. Is that the camera, Egan? Oh, it's gone now. Bear with me, everyone. Hang on, I think I found a better one. This might be better. Just let me know, Egan. Was it the first one or the second one that you were watching? Because that might be the better one. Once again, credit to Missouri Dot for that camera. We're just going to use it. So that camera is on I-44, just south of Joplin, looking west. So we'll see if we can see anything in here. But I think that's the one. Maybe I can make it so I see mile markers. Oh wait, if the mile marker is the green, then it's the camera pointing at the electrical substation. No. If it's the camera pointing at the electrical substation, I think that camera just went out. No, it didn't. Okay, the operator of that camera is a goat. That's definitely the camera. Mile marker 4. I found it. Thank you so much, Egan. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Huge shout out to Egan. So, shout out to Egan in the chat. Go subscribe to him. There's his channel link. So, go drop him a sub. So we've got somebody operating that camera, and I think it's pointing at the rotation, and that thing is just shooting out lightning bolts. So shout out to Missouri Dot for that. I think we can use this and we'll be fine. Not making any money off of it. Our original PDS has expired, but this is now moving into the Joplin area. Look at this though, guys. That is remarkable. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen any signs of a tornado yet, but I'm kind of just focused on the lightning. That is insane. I wish I could be there right now. Can't confirm if this is still a tornado on the ground. Okay, they have downgraded that to radar indicated. Does have the potential to touch back down though, so tornado warning continues for the Joplin area. So Joplin, Carl Junction, Webb City, continue to remain in your safe spot. The lightning is insane. I wonder if we will go back enough and we could see the tornado. But Camp, you said you saw the tornado on the camera on Max's stream. Okay. I did not go over this earlier because I was very concerned, but that's a tornado warning. This is southeast of Jefferson City, so Freeburg, Missouri. Get into your safe spot. Not much rotation with that. Main concern is the Joplin area, and after that, we may end stream. Once again, though, I can be live through midnight, so if we need to come back, we will. But we'll be here the next 15 to 20 minutes, as this moves through Joplin Metro. Still just as much lightning with that. This is an I-44 mile marker 4. And if they're heading southwest on I-44 out of the Joplin area, they'll be good, but would not recommend heading eastbound just because that rotation may catch up to you at some point. Potentially in the Springfield area, not quite sure. New mesoscale discussion, 120 to 145 for southern Missouri. Okay. Let's take a look, shall we? I don't have it quite yet. It's going to take a minute to go on the SPC website. But this area in a tornado watch through, looks like it got extended through 2 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And we have 2 tornado warnings south of Clinton, Missouri. So if you are in Osceola, Vista, Gerster, Lowry City, radar indicated tornado warning. So seek shelter now away from windows on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. And this storm near Joplin is also warned for 2-inch hail. Let's get back to reflectivity. You can see a lot of hail, mainly north of this city near the airport, but that's why I told you guys probably 30 or 45 minutes ago, bring those vehicles in. And I do hate to say it, but I think our rotation may be picking up again, so you guys just be on standby for another tornado warning. You are still under that radar indicated, so you should not have gotten out of your safe spot since that PDS was initially issued. So let's see if we have that new MD yet. No, not yet. Do I have that new MD yet? Nope. Not quite. Oh, I forgot it's on scope. Okay, so tornado threat is expected to continue for several more hours into the early overnight period across parts of southwest and south central Missouri. Most probable peak tornado intensity 120 to 145 miles per hour. Most probable peak wind, why did I say it like that? Wind gusts 55 to 70. Most probable peak hail size 2 inches to 3.5 inches. Trying to watch for any rotation that we may have in there. Kind of suspicious of this entire area in the cloud base. But once again, tornado warning does continue for the Joplin, Missouri area, all the way south to Saginaw and Diamond, up through Jasper. So much of western Jasper County. You guys should be in your safe spot. That report just disappeared of hail in Colorado. After this storm, we can probably end off our stream, but not giving the all clear just yet. We've got 12 likes, so thank you all for the support. If you haven't already, be sure to like the stream. It's completely free and helps out a lot. And we're going to set up a redirect to somebody. Who should we redirect to? Once again, though, also feel free to ask any questions in the chat that you may have. I'll answer to the best of my ability. Customization, redirect. John ended his stream. Who could we go to? Whoever's coming up. Let's do... We'll do Stormfront Freaks. Still going to keep an eye on this, though. Yeah, that rotation is north of Joplin now. For some reason it says we got 0 people watching the stream. We may just end off here, because I don't know why OBS just picked up on some sort of lag spike on the chart they give me. So I think with that being said, that's going to be the end of this stream. Just to be safe. Never mind. We'll keep going. The thing went down. The connection's getting better. The kilobits per second went up, so that's good. So we'll continue streaming. We've got some people in here still too. It says 5 now. As long as there's not 0. If there's just one person, happy to help them. And we have our rotation near Vista and Gerster still. That's radar indicated. So continue to seek shelter in your safe spot. I just want to wait another radar scan or two until this is northeast of Joplin. Kind of out of there. What's up, Vincent? Have you been watching this craziness? We had that big tornado, strong to intense tornado, and then that PDS that came out for Joplin. I was kind of hinting that that needed to happen. I didn't think they would really do it, but they did it. I'm glad they did, though. Wow, we've got 12 people watching, 10 likes right now, so we went down to, if you have not already, Please be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and consider donating even. All those are completely optional. The PayPal link is at the very start of the live chat. Once again, this live camera is at I-44, the 4th mile marker, looking towards the storm. And just look how much lightning's in there. I don't know how to put it into perspective, but the brighter the lightning is, the more recent the flash is. Just look at how much they're popping. Okay, so we got a scan 3 minutes ago. We'll wait for one more, just in case. So let's see if we can get more frames. Just look at the life cycle of this tornado, guys, all the way from west of Columbus, Kansas. Quite the radar loop. Whoa, 13 people watching and 11 likes. Thank you for all the support, everyone. Good to have you all here watching the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. We are covering a tornado warning for Joplin, Missouri, currently radar indicated. This was formerly PDS. We had a strong tornado on the ground. Directly impacted Columbus, Kansas. If you have any questions for your location, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Please be respectful while using the live chat. Making sure I haven't checked PayPal the entire stream and they don't send me notifications, so I want to make sure I didn't miss anything because I would feel really bad. Once again, welcome in, Vincent. Shout out to Egan and Camp, Davis, and Tabby Gamer for tuning in during this live stream. And not sure what just happened with this tornado warning. It did get updated though. Still radar indicated. Looks like we're on 2 or 3 minute scans now rather than 5 or 6, which is good. My chair keeps making this awkward creaking noise and it sounds really weird. I do not like it. It keeps happening. So I apologize for that. It sounds weird. Try to minimize that for future streams, hopefully with a cushion or something. Once again, though, that radar indicated tornado warning for Joplin in effect for another 8 minutes. As long as we've got people watching, I think we should just stay live because I'm happy to do coverage for you all just to reinforce all those weather warnings that we have out there. So we'll stay live if you guys need it and send you off to Mr. Brady Harris a little bit later. Not too concerned with this anymore, though. That probably did disrupt a lot of kids going to bed Sunday night for school Monday morning. But it was worth it, knowing they took their tornado precautions, I really hope. Because I'm sure they had the sirens sounding and all sorts of noise going on. It takes a true champion to sleep through something like that. New severe thunderstorm warning just popped up for southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri for 2.5-inch hail. That's tennis ball size, just a fourth of an inch shy of a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, so it's considerable for that. And then radar indicated 60-mile-an-hour winds and tornado possible. So based off them putting that tornado possible on that, it wouldn't shock me to see that tornado warning expire. So therefore, I think we can end off this live stream. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, especially those who helped enhance the quality of the stream with cameras and reports. So shout out to all of you for tuning in, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out.